Juane, today's introduction is that you make sure that the person on your right has sufficient information to represent who you are. So we are giving you about 3 minutes to 5 as you know each other. In case you do not have somebody on your right, I am available to be at your service. I will bring somebody to your right. Or you choose another person amongst your table who will have sufficient information about you. Asanteni. And there is plenty of food. You'll go for second round. Thank you. Guided, Madam VC. His Excellency, the Deputy Governor and the Vice Chancellor, we request that we go to the next stage in the interest of time, and I will welcome Professor Mugendi to take us through the next segment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mumbi, and good morning. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, our Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the clergy, colleagues, council members, and friends of Machakos University. Good morning once again. Yeah. There's a Nigerian proverb that says that, sorry, I'm getting feedback. Okay. The proverb goes that if you throw a stone in a crowded marketplace, the first person you hit will most likely be your own relative. So in this very busy and very happy place, the first person that I would hit would most likely be my relative. So you're all relatives of this wonderful institution of ours. And to extend that sense of family, we will move from table to table. A microphone will be on the table. And as Mombi had instructed us earlier, you will introduce the person to your right. So this is the chance to show us that you've indeed socialized and you know who the members of your family are. So Mombi, you can direct us in terms of where we start so that we can begin with those introductions. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. The person on my right is Professor Joyce Angalo, Vice Chancellor, Machakos University. The place to be.
I will request the exception to the rule was His Excellency. As you're introducing the person to your right, kindly stand. We see your beautiful face, your handsome face. Asanteni sana, Madam VC.
No, I need to stand.
Your Excellency, karibu.
Yes, and we can stand together.
Okay, the person on my right is Professor Joyce Angalo, our beloved Vice Chancellor at the University of Machakos University. Thank you.
I would like to request Professor Munavu to stand.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't say no.
So Professor Raphael Munavu is a long mentor to me. He is the one who inspired me to part of this leadership. He's been a vice chancellor. He is a leading professor. He's been a chair of many, can I say, they're not constitutions, many committees. Currently is the chair of Concert Technopolis, which is one of our key partners. I could go on and on, but that is what I would like to say for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, stand. You don't sit down until I tell you. No. There is a reason.
Yes.
But because they don't want you to stand, you sit. It's okay. Good morning. The gentleman standing next to my right is a very distinguished person. And by the way, you can tell a person who really conveys the wisdom, the words of God, and so on, by the way their beard is shaped. So this Reni Kiamba appears to be, you do some preaching?
Yes, I do.
Of course. This is Reni Kiamba for you, okay? And please listen. Anytime you hear him talking, listen, because you will really absorb a lot of wisdom from him. Asante sana.
Thank you, Professor. Now with an introduction like that, I don't know what to say. But thank you, Professor. Honorable Bishop.
Yes, sir.
The gentleman sitting to my right is none other than Bishop Kababu, a man who has been in ministry for over 46 years as a pastor and has had a continuous prayer center in Machakos for 32 years, which has never been interrupted. And now he's developing leaders for the church. Amen. Please appreciate him.
the wonderful lady seated and standing on my right is Dr. Mercy, a lawyer, and I know she has powerful investment at a cost. If you want to go for conferences in our cottage, you'll be able to enjoy that. God bless you.
Thank you, Bishop, for that introduction. I can see you are getting it. Now, the person who is seated next to me on the right-hand side, he told me to call him Francis Mwangangi Kilonzo. But I have to add His Excellency. For those who do not know him, he's a deputy governor. I'm sure Mulmutisa would have said, duped governor. Duped governor. Machakos County. And he's learned. Don't think that he's a politician just like that. He's doing his PhD. Yes. Clap your hands. He has finished his coursework. He has started his research. Just about to finish. But you know, all of you, don't clap so much. PhD can take 10 years. So, but he will finish very soon. Thank you.
The next table, introduce the person on your right. I'm reminding you the rules.
Thank you so much. Please, the person on my right, please stand up. Thank you. The person on my right is Dr. Joyce Gure. She's in the Machakos University Council and here representing the PS education. Thank you.
Good morning. The person on my right, please stand. The lady on my right is Dr. Patricia. She's the Dean, Pure and Applied Sciences, and teaches in the environmental. And she also told me she's blessed with a number of children. Yes.
So good. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce the lady in my right. Her name is Anne Munyao. Anne is the principal, if you like, at Catoloni Group of Schools. We have group of schools around here. And she also represents or likes to, advocate for the people living with disability because she has lived with disability for a while and it has not deterred her. So she's happy to advocate for others doing that. She's also blessed with many children. And not just many children, also with many grandchildren. And she's inspired me with her strength because even as you see her smiling like this, she's mourning her mother. She lost her mother, who is going to be buried on Tuesday. So I am very amazed at your strength. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daktari. I heard you being called so. Next to me, it's a man of God. This is Sheikh Abdallah, in charge of the Muslim community in Machakos town.
Hapa wamepitia huko. Kwa hiyo hapa ndo pale tunapitia. Ni mrembo huyu.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I have a pleasure to introduce the
good morning, everyone. I want to introduce the sweet lady who is sitting on my right. Her name is Grace Moviti.
Grace is a teacher at a school in Masi. She's also a graduate. She's married. She has 3 children. And apart from teaching profession, she's doing side hustle into events. So I believe, Professor, next time you give her a chance. You know, she's young. So thank you very much, and you're all welcome to this sitting. Thank you.
Yes, I have the pleasure of introducing this wonderful lady. Her name is Dr. Lillian Kathambi. She is a librarian in Machakos University. She is a wife and a mother of beautiful girls. She's also a born-again Christian and serves the Lord. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, I have the pleasure to introduce the lady next to me. Her name is Karen Kadhambi. I'm glad we come from the same county. And she's a mother of many children, a wife, and the chief principal, Mumboni Girls. Thank you.
Good morning. So I would request the person on my right to stand up. So the person on my right is Professor Stanley Makindi. He's a passionate environmentalist and currently is the DVC, Research, Innovation and Linkage at Machakos University. Thank you.
Good morning. My neighbor on my right, stand please, is Mr. Peter Njoroge. Peter Njoroge is a council member, Machakos University. Thank you.
I will request the lady on my right to stand. The lady on my right is Priscilla. She's the office administrator in the office of the Vice Chancellor. Karibu, Priscilla.
God is good. Kindly stand up. The beautiful lady this morning is Mary Kimeu. She is a deputy director in the office of the deputy governor. Thank you.
Good morning. I'll request the lady on my right to stand. So her name is Dr. Pamela Muriungi. She's a dean at the School of Education. Yeah, then she's told me that she does not stay in Machakos County. She comes all the way from Nairobi like I did this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Good morning. I had a neighbor who's called Patricia, was seated there. She said she was Patricia Peter from the Department of Agriculture, County Government. So she just left. So I don't know who to introduce here, because I wish she was here, you'd have seen her, but she was here with me. She's called Patricia Peter, so I introduce her in absentia. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. You will allow me to introduce the person next to me on the right and also introduce myself, because in the interest of time, I have to take leave because of something that I'm doing. On my right is Pastor Evangelist Peter Chengo of Faith Evangelistic Missions in Machakos. And yeah, I think I sat here by design. He's our spiritual father at the Evangelistic Mission, and also happens to be the father of my grandchildren, my son. Thank you so much. My name is Catherine Mutanu. I have to take leave. I'm the CCM at the County Government of Machakos in charge of agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and cooperatives. I have just begged leave because I have to rush and do something that I've just been instructed to go and do. I would have wanted to stay through, but unfortunately I will not. So kindly we'll be together in all that you do. May you be blessed with the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's appreciate as she leaves. Thank you so much. The gentleman next to me, standing next to me, is by the name Aquinas Kilonzo Kidhome. He is a financial advisor with APA Insurance. And so I'm privileged to be seated next to such a gentleman. Thank you so much.
Good morning. The lady standing next to me is Dr. Esther Ndoku. She's a nutritionist, and she's specialized in oncology nutrition.
Good morning. I want to introduce the sweet girl next to me in Kisumu. Kisumu, it's Jaba. These things are not shocking to me. Someone is sabotaging. So her name is Dr. Veronica Okello, a member of staff in Machakos University. She's in the School of Pure and Applied Sciences, one of the greatest researchers in the university, a woman in STEM, chemistry. A lot of us ploughed in chemistry. She did it. She's quite an inspiration in the university. She's brought in a lot of grants in the university. She's a she who is profiling. So we want to celebrate her today as we celebrate and lead our propeller purpose. Young girl, we propel with our purpose. You are young, you are my sister. Young sister, thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Good morning. Today I'm really, really honored because I'm seated next to power. The lady who is standing next to me, she is an office administrator at Machakos University, and not just any other office. She is an office administrator in the office of the Vice Chancellor. And that's why I'm saying that I'm seated next to power. She manages agendas, travel plans, and even appointments in the office of the Vice Chancellor. As I said, her name is Susan Mwangi. Asante.
Yeah, I'm glad. Good morning. I'm glad to introduce to you the gentleman standing next to me. His name is Peter Kasoa. He's the manager, Sydian Bank, where the money is. Thank you. And it's not only where the money is, but the services there are real time, as he says. So you are all urged to open an account there. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and you see how money, how services is real time.
Thank you. I just want to correct, my name is Amos Mutinda. Maybe she forgot that. I would request Daktari to stand up. Otherwise, good morning. Yeah. So on my right is Dr. Consolata Mutisia, CS, the County Government of Machakos, taking care of education. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. I was supposed to introduce the gentleman next to me, but he was already introduced earlier. Do I need to repeat? No.
I love the humility of the lady who has just spoken. We welcome you, Honorable Consolata Mtisia, the CECM Education, Machakos County. Thank you for your presence. Karibu Machakos.
The gentleman who was seated, who is sitting and has just stood up on my right and has a very bright smile is Mr. Michael Mweo. He is the board chair, Modini School. He's also a community developer, a developer worker working with an NGO, a great father of two beautiful girls. Thank you.
Thank you. I have the pleasure, good morning. I have the pleasure to ask my friend to stand up. The lady to my right is Dr. Alice Nzioka, lecturer, Machakos University, chair, Department of Hospitality. She is a mother of 3, grandma of 6, all the way from Makueni, a place called Miangeni, and she's the co-founder of Miangeni Secondary School. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and good morning. I wish to ask the lady seated next to me kindly to stand up. Thank you. Now, the lady seated to me is Madam Stella Muhoro. She said it's not Muhoro, it's Muhoro. She's from Konza Technopolis. She does quite a lot of work. She's actually the chief manager in Konza Technopolis. She's in charge of strategy, in charge of policy and corporate research. Now, Stella Muhoro is very close to Machakos University. And as we were talking and engaging, we agreed we are going to work together on enlarging tourism research in Machakos University. So I heard we have DVC research. We are going to cooperate and have linkages with Konza Technopolis when it comes to tourism. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'll ask the lady, the beautiful lady, very well dressed, next to me to stand up. I'm posing for effect so that you look. So the lady on my right is a powerhouse. She's one of the people who move Machakos because she sits where the money is, and she's a listening, caring partner. She's Helen Mudhoki, Mrs., in case you get ideas, Mrs. Helen Mudhoki. She's the branch manager, Equity Bank, Machakos. And not just that, she's also assisting and overseeing Equity's operations in Machakos County. So I'm sitting right next to a powerhouse. Asante sana.
Wow, a great introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I request Honorable Joyce to be upstanding? This is the real powerhouse. This lady, standing on my right, is the Honorable Joyce Kamene Kasembe. She's the women rep, Machakos County. She's the mother to all of us. She's Mama County. The most outstanding thing I know about this leader is she's God-fearing. And so she belongs to the famous club of the Machakos girls. Thank you.
Shalom, everyone. The person seated next to me, thank you for standing. He is Mr. James Muola. He is the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the university, academic. He is from my original place, Makueni, and he loves it. From what I can gauge, he loves his birthplace. Thank you.
Thank you for that introduction. Good morning. Can I ask my friend here to stand? The person standing next to me is CPA Felix Kilonzi. He's an independent member of council, Machakos University. He's an accountant by profession and a consultant on tax matters, customs, financial management, among many other things. If you need somebody who can help you to manage your finances, he's here. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I request the gentleman on my right to stand up? He is Major Boniface Nganda, the Chief Security Officer, Machakos University. Thank you.
Kindly, madam, can you stand up, and thank you to you, Felix, for introducing me. I have the singular honor to introduce to you this gorgeous lady, Madam Phyllis Ndambuki. She's working with Indian Bank here in Machakos. And the other day I just walked into that bank, and when I was getting out, I walked away with a few coins. So if you would want to consult her, I will give you her number, maybe privately. And she is a good one, another powerhouse. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Major, for that introduction. I would like to request the gentleman on my right to stand. The gentleman is Mr. Stephen Kilundo. He is the branch manager of KCB Bank, Machakos branch. He comes from Masinga constituency. Karibu.
Yeah, thank you so much. She couldn't market me because she comes from Indian Bank. Na boss yuko pale. Yeah, I request the strong woman on my right to stand up. She's Mrs. Jen Kiamba, and Kiamba in Kikamba means strong. Yeah, a pillar. And so she's a development partner in Machakos University. Our original home is in Makueni, and now she hails from Mua. Thank you.
I have the pleasure now to introduce somebody after the other neighbor left. I got a new neighbor. So I'll request her to stand. God is gracious. I wouldn't have gone home without introducing somebody physically. So God has remembered me. Now, now I have a beautiful girl who just came and sat next to me. She's called Kendi Maore. She's the relationship manager, KCB Bank, and she tells me she handles premium customers. So she tells me you are actually our customers. This category that is in this breakfast forum, you are supposed to be our customers. She comes from Meru County. I don't know what just brought her here, and I'm happy. All of us are from. I'm also from Meru County, Kendi. So that's why I'm pronouncing the name so well, Kendi Maore. So thank you so much.
Okay, good morning. On my right, the pleasure of introducing Deborah Joroge from APA. She's also informed me that they are working on a solution tailored for women with cancer called Femina Plus. So I think where she is right now, I think she's in the right place. Welcome to Machakos University.
Your Excellency, last but not least, kindly switch off the mics. I request this table to stand up. The beauty that you see today, Your Excellency, this was the team that has arranged this event. So we will not introduce each other on the right, on the left. So we will start with Professor Mugendi. Then you have Madam Rachel Kibe. Then you have Mary Mutula. Something special about this girl, she's an alumni, and she's currently the president of MACSUA, that is Machakos University Students Alumni Association, and she was kind enough to contribute her time to meet with us almost every other day. The person next to her is CPA, Teresia Mutunga. Then we have Nancy, Miss Nancy Ngoshe, and then yours truly, myself, Mumbi Mwihuri. Karibuni Machakos. We go to the next stage, Your Excellency, with your permission, and I will welcome yours truly, Joyce the Right Choice, anointed of God, Professor Joyce Agalo, the Vice Chancellor of Machakos. Karibu.
The presentation is ready. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Machakos County, Honorable Francis Mwangangi, who is a friend of Machakos University. We are honored to have you this morning with us. Professor Munavo, who has been my mentor. We are honored to have you. Mr. Rene, Bishop Kababu, our chairman represented by Dr. Mercy. I would not want to go around every table, but each one of you is special, and I would really like to welcome each one of you today to this present. I really feel humbled. I'm honored that you accepted to be here with us this morning. We are gathered here for one just big reason: deep conversations with the right people. And you are the right people for us in Machakos University this morning. And we are really, really grateful to have you here. Why are we thinking that these conversations that we are going to have here today are priceless? It is because these are the conversations. We are beginning a journey in Machakos University. And we would like to have these conversations that go along the way of our vision, pointing us to our vision as Machakos University. And we have invited you to be here with us so that we can share together that vision. You can assist us to shape that vision because you are residents of Machakos County. You have a stake in Machakos County. You have an interest in Machakos County. And that is why we have invited you, so that we can chart the way for this great institution. My vision is to have Machakos University become one of the premier universities in the country, and not only in the country, but in the world. We want to stand as Machakos University to be counted as one of those great institutions. And as they say, the journey of 1,000 miles or kilometers begins with that first step. This is the first step that we are taking today. And we would like you to be part of this journey so that we can chart that way for Machakos University to be a great university. And that is why we have each one of us present here has a role to play in that greatness of Machakos University, in that vision that we have that we would like to get Machakos University to be. So the main purpose of this breakfast today is actually to chart those, to look at where do we want to take Machakos University. You are a stakeholder in Machakos University, and therefore we would like you to be part of that conversation that says, yes, we have a strategic plan which we have developed. We have flagship projects that we would like to bring into fruition, but also there's room for us to be able to create and to enhance that strategic plan that we have so that we take this institution to the right direction. Maybe we may be having a few other universities that have come up, but we know that Machakos University is the first university in Machakos County, and it is really the university that we can say that it is shaping and influencing the academics in Machakos County. And therefore, we would like to invite you to be part and parcel of this. So I take this opportunity on behalf of the University Council, which is present here. During the introductions, we have had that come, but I think the chair of council will be able to let them stand. I have my management team, which is supporting me, and the three gentlemen, I would like them to stand first of all. They know themselves. Yes, we know traditionally, and for me, being a woman, you know, we cook and we get supported by the 3 stones. These are my 3 stones that support me in Machakos University. Deputy, Administration and Finance and Planning, Research, Innovation and Linkages, Academic and Student Affairs. I appreciate you for the work and the support that you're giving me. In that management too, please take a seat. In that management too, there are some powerful ladies. Can they also stand? Nancy? Okay. I think the others, of course, you know we cannot all come here because other activities must also continue. So Mumbi is also part of the management that supports, especially in ensuring that we don't go out of the act, out of the guidelines, the regulations that we've been given. So we appreciate your presence too in management. Nancy is the secretariat in the management and also council. And this, as you've seen, are part of the organizers of this event today, and we really appreciate you. I also would like to take this time to introduce. I deliberately just decided to say the ladies who are leaders in Machakos University. You are either leading a department, you're leading a school, you're leading something. Please stand. So ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the powerful ladies in Machakos University whom I would like to mentor so that they can grow and also support me, have a vision of where I would like us to go as Machakos University. I cannot do everything alone. I have these ladies to be able to support me. Where is Teresia? Yes. Where is Rachel? You are representing ICT. Where is she? Yes. You are representing ICT. These are the ladies that, and where are my administrators in my office? Every lady in Machakos University who is here, please stand, even if you have been introduced. These are the strong ladies. You've heard Machakos is Machakos girls. Yes. These are the girls that are also helping me in Machakos here. And you've heard, ranging from researchers, from administrators, ICT, finance, they're all here. Corporate, the library, all of them are here. And these are the ladies that are really helping me, again, chart the way forward for Machakos University. And I said I would like them to be here so that we can hear and propel their purpose too. Because in their purpose, as they succeed, I succeed. And I would like us to hold hands together, even as we propel this institution to where we would like it to be. So you've heard their names. I would like to say thank you very much to each one of you. Please, let's continue looking forward to that vision of the university, and together we will be able to succeed. Thank you very much for being here. We have also been able to invite a few other guests whom we will give an opportunity to be able to talk to us as we proceed. But before I sit down, I would like to make a brief presentation so that even for the other guests as we invite, we will still have some other time. At the end of the few presentations that we will have a networking session, which we will be able to work together and again talk together so that we can be able to chart the way forward for Machakos University, as I said. But initially I had said I just wanted to invite ladies, and we are happy, Mama County, our women rep, you're here. Because we had said we wanted just to sit down as ladies. Madam Helen, we had said we would want to sit down as ladies. Stella, we had said we wanted to sit down as ladies. To be able to just talk about our women, our girl talk. We lead, but we know we lead in sometimes challenging environments where few ladies have managed to go through. And sometimes you feel, am I alone? Is there, am I doing the right thing? Am I, and in the environment in which we are operating, yes, in the professional way, but also we still have our culture, which we respect. So there are those territories that we chart, but we chart carefully. So it is important that, yes, as we come together, where did I forget Joyce? Where did I forget Mercy? Yes, those are part of our council members who are really, really helping us to chart these waters. But I said, part of our culture, and even God put us together, and He made us both male and female. And that is why I said, it is important that, yes, we may want to have our conversation. We will listen to our conversation, but we have the great support team, the pillars, the kiambas that we've been told that are there for us. And that is why, for example, today when the governor was not able to come, our deputy governor was able to stand in for her, and he came in. There is somebody else again, yes, the chair of Muthini Primary School. We invited her. She was not able to come, but has managed to send the chair of the board. So we can see that, yes, we have roles that we can all play together. And therefore, that is why we now say, let us invite ourselves, but also we bring in the team that is also going to provide that support for us, and that we cannot do it alone, we will be able to do it together. And that is why we are calling it the he and she leadership, we will all propel this institution. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know I would not want to take a lot of time. What I would like us to do, I just make my brief presentation about the institution, about the direction that we would like to take as an institution. Then after that, we will have the networking session where we can see where we can contribute more, where we can add more on what we would like to do for Machakos University. So our vision at Machakos University is excellence in transformative scholarship and community service. And that is where we have brought the community. We cannot operate in isolation. We are located somewhere. And our impact must be felt in that place where we are located. We must be able to uplift the livelihoods of those around us here. And our mission is to provide scholarship through teaching, training, research, innovation, and community service for sustainable industrial and socio-economic transformation. We want to see a transformation in Machakos County, the university, and even now that will spill over to the rest of the country. But they say charity begins at home. So we want to begin in Machakos County. And that is why, Your Excellency, we really value your presence here because we want to align ourselves to the vision of the county, the mission of the county, and ensure that we are supporting that vision of the county because this is our home as Machakos University. Our core values. We are the creativity where we shall use imagination and original ideas to create value for our customers. Agility, we shall embrace urgency and flexibility in responding to customer demands and also even to the demands of our environment. Meritocracy, we shall promote merit. We shall promote based on merit. Professionalism, we are committed to high standards of training, research, and service delivery. That is our core business. And for those who attended my inauguration, you remember I talked about students, I talked about staff. I said we want to create an environment, a conducive environment for our students. All this at the end of the day is for the good of the student, whom we would like to produce a holistic graduate who will now go out and be useful to society. That is our core business. Integrity. You cannot handle anything if you don't have integrity. At the end of it, history will be able to tell it. Inclusivity, and that is why we are here, all of us today. We are here. You've heard the introductions from the banks, religious organizations, schools, all that, name it. We are here, all of us today. And that is why we are inclusive. And yes, move to the next one. That is our Chancellor. He was supposed to attend this function today, but unfortunately he had another commitment which he had to leave the country, so he was not able to be here with us, but he gives his regards and his blessings to us. Then we have a council, which is led by Dr. Christopher Gatama Gakau. The representative will be able to tell us more about what the council does, but that is the current team that is leading the council. At the corner there is the secretary to the council. Yes, but these are the council members for Machakos University. They are leading this great institution. They are here. And the good thing is that they have a number of them have just come in. They are the veterans, they are the veterans in the council, but the others are new in the council. So we have new blood coming into the council to inject new blood and new ideas into the council. And we are already seeing fruits in this council. Already we have had some hurdles that we have not been able to unpackage, and the council has already unpackaged for us. So we are really pleased that we have this council that is leading this institution. And it is leading us at the beginning of a new strategic plan and also when we have these new ideas. So I'm sure that they will appreciate any suggestions that you may give us for us to be able to propel this institution together. The council guides the management. So the council is the employer in the institution. And therefore, as management, we really appreciate your leadership and your guide as a council. So with that, then I have the management. So the structure, we have the Chancellor, the Council, Management Board, Senate. Then alongside we have the Alumni Association, and you've heard she's representing that Alumni Association. She's the current president, and we've been working very well together. And you can even attest that she's part of the team that is working with us. Next. So again, in the institution here, our core mandate is to offer the programs that we have. And with that, we have various schools. So the first school is the School of Education, where the very beautiful lady, please stand, that is the dean. Yes. We have the School of Business, Economics, Hospitality, and Tourism Management. She can represent that school. She's not the dean, but she's one of the departments in the school. Yes, that is represented. A School of Engineering and Technology. Why didn't we invite Adman? Yes. We have that school also. We have the School of Agriculture, Environment, and Health Sciences. Yes, Esther can represent the school. Thank you very much. We have the School of Humanities and Social Sciences. We don't have any lady there. I was almost tempted to say the librarian can represent, but yes, we have that school. We're just trying to see the programs that we have so that, especially for the schools, we have invited the schools, Mumbuni girls, Katoloni. I thought we invited Machakos girls. Is she here? Oh, she is not here. Because, again, we were saying we want to mentor the schools around. That is where they will come to be able to come to the university as they proceed in their careers. So it's extremely important that we hold the hands, right from within the primary school. We hold the hands of the secondary schools around the technical institutions so that we work together for the good of the livelihoods of Machakos, but also for the good of the county, so that even the county where we are, we can all shine. So that when they announce results for primary school, we have schools in the county leading. When they announce for secondary school, the secondary schools are there. When they announce for universities, we are there leading. So I think it's extremely important that we work together, and we are very honored and happy to have our Minister for Education. Because, yes, thank you very much. Please work with us so that even within the county, whatever projects, whatever programs we have, the schools are there, the institutions are there to provide support for that, the vision that you have for the county. So in the conversations on our table there, I think the Secretariat, we can note that we would like to now get the history of Machakos County, and the School of Humanities should be able to undertake that. So we want to get the history of the institution, of the people around, of Machakos County itself. So there's rich history there. And for the School of Business, we know that this can also be a very good tourism circuit. And therefore, again, as Machakos University would like to be able to propel that. We have the School of Pure and Applied Sciences. Madam Dean? Yes. Powerful, the Dean of Science. And I think somebody else, the person in agriculture has left, because that is, Madam Minister, please take care of her. Her profession, she's in fisheries. So I'm sure we can be able to do more with her. Thank you very much. Yes. But I was going to, overall, she's the Director of Quality Assurance in the institution. So all the quality, whatever you see around, she's the one ensuring that there is quality being handled there. Thank you very much. Next school. Graduate school. So we have postgraduate programs that we handle in the institution. Again, you will be able to go to our website and see them. We also, now this is, technology is what is now propelling the learning and the flexibility in learning. So this is where we are all going to go, and the current generation appreciates this technology. So we cannot remain behind as an institution. So we have the Directorate of Open and Distance Learning, where we would like to entrench in all the schools where teaching and learning will be done online. And incidentally, I don't know whether Professor Munavu remembers, when you asked me for my thesis, when you asked me, what are you doing in the university? And I told you I'm working on my thesis, I've just finished my thesis. This happens to be my area of specialization, the distance learning. Professor Munavu picked my thesis and he told me, what are you doing with this thesis? And in that, the Institute of Open and Distance Learning was established in Moi, which is now growing. And then out of that, I was also able to be part of the team that worked for the Open University, the initial team that was working on the establishment of the National Open University of Kenya. I was in that team. And together, we will be able to proceed in ensuring that we are providing that learning within the institution. We forgot that we also have a library. You see, we have the librarian here with us, and a university cannot establish, exists without a library, because that is where all the research materials we get, that is what supports the students as they go through the institution. So the strategic objectives, now these ones are too small for people to read. Yes. So we're saying to provide holistic education that transforms and empowers learners. And we have the activities there, develop the blueprint for MATU. We are saying as an institution, we were a technical institution. We would like to see if we can go back towards that direction so that we are able to harness the foundations that had been laid down earlier on for the institution. We are going to develop a market-driven programs, academic programs that with quality assurance so that we can have holistic students. We want to upgrade the library. We want to improve the examination system within the institution. We want to promote research, innovation, technology, and technology transfer. And this is now where we are partners like CONSA. We are linking with partners all over here that we can be able to do research that improves the livelihoods of the people in the county in all areas. You've seen the schools that we have, and we would like to do research. Research usually done to provide solutions. We would like to do innovations that are actually going to provide better livelihoods for the industry. So the next one. Promote community outreach and socioeconomic initiatives. As I said, the university cannot exist it does not exist in a vacuum. Therefore, it is extremely important that we link to the community. When we have our roots in the community and support the community, then that is where our strength as a university will be. So we are going to develop more community and outreach programs and strategies that are going to see the livelihoods. And that is why we are working with the banks. We are working with the researchers, we are working with the religious teams for us to be able to ensure that our communities are okay. Thank you. To attract and retain competent staff. So if we are not able to get the good brains, the right brains to be here, to undertake research, to undertake the teaching and learning, all this, we will need to be able to pay attention to that also as an institution. Next. To create a conducive teaching and learning environment, I think I've said that, and part of this is now where we would like to do the improvements in the infrastructure. I think for those of us who have walked along the institution, we have seen that there is more that needs to be done for the institution in terms of infrastructure for us to be able to have that conducive environment for teaching and learning. We need to have state-of-the-art classrooms. We need to have laboratories. And we really appreciate Mr. Rene that one of the laboratories, he was the STEM power. He was instrumental in getting us that done. So we would like to have infrastructure. We would like the environment so that, as you work in the institution, you feel you are in a university setup. You feel you're a researcher. You feel, we have those facilities so that, when you're in an environment that is conducive for you to think, then even maybe the ideas pour in faster. So that is what we would like to be able to create a conducive teaching and learning environment. Then promote prudent financial management. we know that finances really is what enables things to happen. And if we are not able to use that prudently, then we will not be able to ensure that we are propelling the institution to where we would like to be. And when we look at the current situation in the country, yes, we know we depend on the government, especially for the capital development, but we can see it's been trickling. We've had one structure for the last 7 years. It's not complete. I think currently it's about 70, almost approaching 80% complete. It has taken us almost 7 years. So if we don't do something about it, and that is part of what you are saying, resource mobilization. And part of the members here, I'm sure you have either contacts, you have connections which can be able to assist us to get the resources that we would need to clear and be able to come up with part of the infrastructure that we would like to have for the institution. Thank you. Of course, ICT, again, part of the government agenda is for us to be able to digitize and be able to, and that is again why we have CONSA with us, part of the automation process. As we move forward as an institution, ICT is the next place, or it would be the operating environment for all of us. Next. Improve administration and planning services. I think that is for us internal, so that we will be able to ensure that that the resources that have been put in our hands are well managed, and we ensure that we are administering everything correctly. To improve corporate communication, of course, we also need to talk to the world about what we are doing as an institution, and therefore, part of, again, this forum today is for us to be able to tell you that this is where we would like to go as an institution, and we would like to come together. And we will continue communicating about what we would like to have as an institution. They improve the supply chain management. Of course, we know that we don't have everything within, so we have to link up to be able to get facilities that we will need to use for our services. So part of the legacy or flagship projects that I would like to have, I've talked about establishment of a crèche. And I remember, I think we were in one forum together, and we said something about the crèche. Why do I want to establish this? When I had just been employed in the early 90s, a young mother. I had, of course, babies, small children. And sometimes I would get worried because, and Professor Munavu knows that the main campus is about 36 kilometers away from town. And the university was built in a forest. So there was nothing, no facilities around. So almost all the staff were living in town, and you would have to be transported. So in the morning, as you're leaving your children, you really feel so sad that, and sometimes you would even have a challenge. We remember that we had to get a bus, a university bus, to keep on transporting staff in the morning, and sometimes the bus would break down. So sometimes you would end up reaching the house at 8 in the night, and you don't know where your children, what has happened to your children the whole day and all that. So I thought we could establish a crèche so that we have, the young mothers can have a place where they can know that my child is safe here as I come to work, and you can really give 100% to the work as you, because you know that your child is safe there. I know also that we have students who have also small children, whether by plan or not planned. So again, we have seen cases where we have them carrying their children even to the classroom. I think what went into viral the other day was a student had come to sit for a cat, and she had a baby. So what happened was one of the lecturers offered actually to carry the baby so that the mother can be able to take the exam. So with that kind of environment, I said, let us be able to see if we can establish a crèche so that, and probably as it grows, it could even be a baby, what it's called, kindergarten at some point. I thought some people cautioned me and said, it seems you're encouraging the students or encouraging people to have this, but that is not the point. The point is that, yes, there are those who are already in that way and they have that challenge. What can we do about that? But more so for the young mothers whom we would like to get their skills their talent being realized in the institution in support of the institution vision so that their minds can be, they have peace in their minds. Next, please. Construction of students' hostels and student center. That is my picture of what I would like where my students live, not where they are living currently. I invited the National Housing Corporation. They did not come. They gave apologies. But they have already given us a hand. And they are saying that if we get space for them, they can construct part of the housing for us. The council is there. We have already mentioned it to the council. I have been, before I became the Vice Chancellor, I was the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Student Affairs. And on a number of occasions in the field, as we were admitting new students, we would get 2, 3 of them saying, where is the hostel? Where are our students going to stay? When you tell them, it's called Isili, I don't know, somewhere else called what, that is where they can go. They say, I have come all the way from Busia, I have come all the way from Kisumu. This is my first time in Machakos, and you're telling me to just take my son or my daughter somewhere there. A few of them have just told them, please carry your bag, and we go back. But more so, I have 12,000 students. The accommodation we have is what was there for the technical. 500 students only can stay there. And it is not something that you'll be proud about. So again, that is part of my vision that I would like us to see if we can create, because when they are staying in a conducive environment, then they can be able to think well, they can be able to study well, then they can be able to focus their minds on what they are doing. That is part of my vision. Again, members in the team here or outside, if you have a link that we can be able to see how to provide that support, then we would be able to. That is one of my ideas that I would like to have. Establishment of a center for smart agriculture. We know with the climate change, we know we cannot continue doing things the way we are. Since I came to Kambani, I think I can count the number of times we've had successful crop periods where you plant and until you actually harvest. Because quite often you plant, and when the plants are very nice, you think this time we are going to have a bumper harvest. Drought comes in. And at the end of it, we have no food. We know Israel. I've been to Israel, and Mr. Rene can be able to tell us about that. They are exporting fruit, and it is a complete desert. They've been able to plant trees. I mean, when they come here, this is not a desert at all. So as a university, what can we contribute to this? So that we are using technology to be able to feed our county. And Deputy Governor, we would really like to do this. We have the expertise in the School of Agriculture. We have the expertise in environment. Who can be able to assist us to be able to accomplish this? So let's hold hands together and be able to have this realized. Establishment of Machakos Futures Institute. I have given one of the ladies here to be able to run that project for me, Madam Esther. And this is a center where we would like to, you know, you cannot sit and wait for things to happen to you. You have to plan ahead. You have to look ahead. You have to project so that you can see in 30 years' time, where would we want to be? Then we start working towards that. 30 years ahead, what would we want to get us? The food and the food situation, the health situation, whatever situation that we are in, what do we want to be in that time? And then we start working for it now. So that is part of what I would also like to see established here, so that we just don't sit down and wait for things to happen to us. We want to all the time project and think through and look at the possibilities. Then from there, we are able to find solutions as we go ahead. Establishment of a center of ICT professional courses. We have seen that ICT is the driver of all our activities, of everything we do. That is the center. So we would like to have as many as short courses as possible. And this is even where we would now impact on the community. And also, just for those who want to upgrade, or even those probably who are not born in the current, they call it Gen Z, which is something like that, the TikTok generation. That is where the world is going. And when I was in Israel, when they were telling us about the story of the migrants, those who moved, I think, from Ethiopia to Israel and all that, it happened that those who were able to read, those who were able to do, were the younger generation. So the parents were depending on these children for them to be able to read for them so that they can interpret, and then they were able to work or to survive in the environment. We would not like to reach that situation because it's important that all of us are able to be upgraded. And also now, our schools. I hope you know that we are sharing some of the facilities like the Jitume Center, where you can bring your students, and we had already mentioned that all you need to do is let us know so that we can schedule, and then we have them. That is part of the mentoring we would like to do as Machakos University. So this is an area also that we would like to enhance as an institution, so that even as we handle the other activities, we know that this is the driving force behind what we are doing, because technology, we know we are in the AI era now, and a few other technologies are going to come in. So we cannot sit and again wait for things to happen. We have to be proactive. Establishment of a media center. Quite often we have things that we are doing, but nobody knows what is happening. So we would like to train students also to be able to handle these cameras and be able to tell the stories. Because we know when we talk through the media, we tell the stories to many more people. It does not remain only with us. It goes out there. Again, on our table, we were talking about the history of even Molu Motisia, who was instrumental in this county. We would like to tell the history. We would like to tell our stories. We would like to tell her story, his story, and all that. So this is part of the team that, as part of their research, now they will be able to record and be able to share part of these stories that we have. Establishment of an incubation center. This cannot really be overemphasized or understated, because it is through innovation, it is through research that we are able to find solutions for the future, to improve our livelihoods, to improve the situations that we are all undergoing. So again, Deputy Governor, this is where we would like to also hold hands together, so that whenever we look at any challenges that we have, can it throw to our DVC, research, innovation, and linkages, and say, we would like to find a solution for this. And through there, then we would be able to. We look at our traditional medicine, for example. Is there somebody who is trying to find out what is in it so that we can be able to preserve and all that? So those are some of the kind of things that, and we were even saying that in the concert, I think there is somewhere, there's indigenous trees or something where we were saying, can we plant some medicinal trees for research, even as an institution, and be able to use that environment? So again, this is a key component that links us also to our partners in CONSA, to our partners in the banks, to our partners all over, that we are also the Center for Cloud Computing. So again, this is part of where we would like to get. There's the researches, the innovations that we would like to go a long way in providing solutions to the challenges we have as a community, as a country, as a nation, as a people. That is what we would like to have that done. I didn't know it had come to the end. So if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, let us go together. And that is why I've called you here, for us to be able to go together. And now it is my pleasure to invite the council chair to say a word. Thank you very much, madam.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning once again. I want first to make a disclaimer that I'm not the chair of council, because there's, I can be accused of impersonation. So I'm standing in the gap of Dr. Christopher Gakaho, who is the chairman of Machakos University Council. And before I proceed, I would want to give his apologies. He had another appointment that he couldn't fail coming, still serving this country. And all together as a council, we say that there is the rule of collective responsibility. So I would want to ask the council members who are present to stand up so that they do not say that the chairman was very conscious of gender, the 1/3 rule. That is why he gave me the responsibility to start in his gap. So I want to ask Mr. Joroge, Dr. Joyce, CPA Felix, the ones studying are the council members. Mr. Joroge represents the Ministry of Money. So anytime that you see Mr. Joroge, you know that we have the government here. He represents the Ministry of Finance. You better clap very well, because especially the staff of Machakos University, you need to clap very well, because that is where money comes. Thank you, Mr. Joroge. Then we have Dr. Joyce, who is representing the Ministry of Education, which is our mother ministry, and they are very supportive. So thank you so much, Dr. Joyce. We have an independent member, CPA Felix Kilonzi, who has a wealth of experience in university management. Thank you so much. Then we have Dr. Esther, who is not present. Stella, yes. We have Dr. Stella. She could not also come, but I think she is also well represented. So I want to read the speech of our chairperson. I have no intentions of adding what he had not said. I will start with recognizing all of you and everyone who is here. But I want to start by recognizing our Almighty God for giving us this opportunity to be here. Secondly, I want to recognize the men of God that are with us. They are the pillars in the spiritual realm. They are the pillars of any nation. So I want to recognize Bishop Charles Kababu. Thank you, sir, for coming, for honoring us, and for being a father in this university. We also have Reverend Peter Siengo, who has also honored us to come today. And I want to recognize all the other ministers of the gospel. That is my addition of recognition, but because I have to start with the protocol, spiritual protocol, before we come to the earthly protocol. The other one that is to recognize is the County Commissioner, Madam Joyce Ouko, represented by Madam Evelyn Wekesa, who is the DCC, Matuguru Sub-County. I also want to truly appreciate and recognize the Governor of Machakos County, Her Excellency Wavinya Deti, who is very well and heavily represented by his Deputy Governor, His Excellency Honorable Francis Mwangangi Kironzo. I don't want to leave that name, because when I introduced him, he accused me of not introducing him properly. Let me finish my introduction before I go to the other part. He told me I did not introduce him as a father of two. So for people who might have thought that he is a single man, He is a father of two, a boy and a girl. So I want to apologize that I left that portion, but I intended to do it here because there I couldn't be seen by everybody, but now I can be seen by everybody. I'm introducing your family, because without your family, you might also not be here. Because behind every successful man, there is a woman. So I see. So I have to recognize you, His Excellency, and I'm sorry for omitting that important family that I failed to recognize. Again, I also want to recognize the honorable members of the County Assembly. We have the CEC Agriculture, Education. Agriculture was here, she has left. We have Education, that is really also our backbone, and that is Honorable Dr. Honorable Constance Consolata Mutisia. You have to excuse me because where I come from, there is no L, there is no R. So you have to guess which one I'm talking about. I also want to recognize all the other honorable members that are here, that I do not know their names, the chairman did not know their names, but assumed that you'll be here. You are all recognized. I also want to recognize myself because I'm standing in the gap of a very big shoe. Dr. Mercy Kanyara here, standing in the gap of the chairperson. And I don't want to forget our professors. You know, sometimes in the academia, you don't want to just introduce somebody like that. So I want to also introduce a father of professors, Professor Mnafu, because if I leave him alone and start introducing junior doctors, there will be danger. So I want to introduce Professor Munafu and other professors on the way, heading there. And so you will also be a professor one day. Before forgetting our professor, in-house professor, our queen. Yes, staff, clap your hearts. You know where, you don't know power. Professor Joyce Agaro, who is the mother of this institution, a reader, the she who wants to propel purpose, even for she and for the he. So the he, you are not left out. We want to recognize you, madam, for the good work that you are doing. I think this list is too long, but I also recognize the deans and the chairman of various departments that are here. Members of staff, you have also been recognized. And last and not least, all the stakeholders. So if your name is not here, if I have not mentioned, know that you are a stakeholder. However you are, know that you are a stakeholder, that we recognize all of you. Now let me go to the speech. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Joyce Agaro, for hosting this gathering and for her visionary leadership that continues to steer our university towards greater heights of academic and research excellence. As a chairman of council, I recognize the immense responsibility we bear in guiding the strategic direction of our beloved institution, Machakos University. We are entrusted with a task of ensuring that Machakos University remains a beacon of knowledge, research, innovations, and transformative education in our region and beyond. I am pleased to report that we have made significant progress in advancing our academic programs, enhancing our research capabilities, and fostering a conducive learning environment for our students. However, we are also aware that there is still much more work to be done. And this work to be done, that is now my own addition. The Vice Chancellor has taken us through 6 areas that she desires, or the council desires, that we would want to partner with the various stakeholders so that we are able to drive this university to that level that we want as an international institution, not just local, not national, but international. There are various areas that she has taken us through a few minutes ago, and among them, it was the issue of incubation, creation of incubation center. There is a smart agriculture that she pledged with the county government of Machakos that you would assist us in those two areas, incubation and in setting up an agricultural center that would transform this county and even transforming Kenya. We also heard about the clincher, that we would want our staff to be more comfortable. But the part that I would just want to add is the gender element, that even men, they are single men, single fathers. So even single fathers, when the clincher is created, you'll be able to bring your children, not just the ladies, even the single fathers can bring their children, even them, they can, the clincher would be for everyone. Anyway, the challenges we face are many, but they are all not insurmountable. I encourage all of us here today to continue working together, leveraging our collective strength and expertise to address these challenges head-on and to seize the opportunities that lie ahead. Let us remain committed to excellence in everything we do and strive to make a lasting impact in the lives of our students, the community, and the society at large. Finally, I would want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, our esteemed stakeholders, in immense contributions that you continue supporting Machakos University in realizing its mandate in teaching, training, research, and community outreach. As a council, we assure the national and the county government of unwavering support in the provision of quality, inclusive, and relevant education. We look forward to continue engaging with all the sectors for the prosperity of our beloved institution and the community at large. Thank you, all of you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mercy. Your Excellency, we go to the next segment of the program, and I'll request the representative of the County Commissioner, DCC Evelyn Wekesa of Matungulu Sub-County, to come and address the plenary. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Mumbi. God is good, and all the time. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate to be part of this very important meeting, and especially being a woman, I'm in the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to appreciate our chief guest, our Deputy Governor, Mheshimiwa Mwangangi, for agreeing to come and grace this very important session for his ladies in the county. I also want to appreciate the Vice Chancellor and her team of administration. We also want to appreciate the council through Professor Dr. Mercy, for allowing us to be in this very important institution. In Machakos County, we are proud of this Machakos University because it is one of our own. I also want to recognize our women rep, because if I don't do that, she will fire me. I know today she came as a participant, but I want to appreciate her for being here with us, because that is giving direction and leading her folk in the right direction. I want to appreciate everybody who is in attendance, and I state that I'm here on behalf of the County Commissioner, Madam Josephine Ouko. She was supposed to be here with you today, but unfortunately she has a function, which is a function of the ministry. They are congregating somewhere in Kisumu. So she requested me to step in, and I was given this information very late. I know Mumbi is aware, but being a woman, I think the issue that you had given to her, I think I can be able to do something in that line. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to talk about women in leadership. and I won't be very academic. I want you to allow me to do it socially, because the people I serve actually is the community. So allow me just to brush through. Maybe next time when I'm given a better chance, I'll be able to prepare something on a slide so that we share with the great women of this county to move the county forward. I really want to appreciate the men on board, because as women, we can't move on alone. We need your support. We are not here to compete, but we need your support. We need you to appreciate us so that we get that energy to perform our duties in our various workstations. So what do we mean by when we say women in leadership? I said, as earlier on, I said I won't be academic. But essentially, we are looking at participation of women in positions of decision-making, right? We just want to be in that category of decision-making on issues which affect us, and especially when we focus on Machakos County. There are various issues that we are going through as a county, and when we bring women on board, I think that will be achieving one of the visions that was highlighted in the Constitution 2010, the gender role. So our men, we request you to give us space. Give us space. And I want to appreciate our chief guest because he has really given someone a space, right? So when you see our governor shining outside there, moving around, it is because there is somebody, there is a pillar behind her. And we really appreciate that, our chief guest. We want to look at, traditionally as Kenyans, look at our tradition. What does the tradition say? Our education system. Women are socialized in a certain way, right from your home areas. And I'm talking to women. I remember when I was in primary school, my mother used to send me to fetch water. I used to do house chores for others. Because I'm the firstborn, it's like I was the mother of that house. So, and essentially it comes automatically that when you have a girl child in the house, you'll teach her how to do house chores, right? You'll teach her how to be a good woman, how to be a good daughter, and how to be a good mother. Those are 3 things that we are taught. But because of the changing situations that is happening in the whole country and in the whole world, we have to move by what the current state, right? As a professor said, we now have the community of TikTokers, and that is how we have socialized our current generation. So if we do not tell them what is required of them on time, we are likely to have challenges when they become leaders. So for us who have the chance, who have this chance to lead anyone, to lead our institutions, our MDAs, wherever we are, let us do the right thing. I'm talking to ladies. Let us do the right thing. And by so doing, I want to just make a reflection on my institution. Before we used to be called provincial administrators. So mnajua hiyo? During President Moi's time, it was a very powerful system. And I think because of the issue of power, we were also hated. And during that time, you could see just a few ladies in that Kadia. I don't think we had DCs who are women performing at that time. most of the DCs at that time were men, because the system was essentially socialized to be a domain of men. But now we have moved on. Look at the county. Within the county, in my Kadia, we have 4 ladies and five gentlemen. So that means even as a county, we have moved forward. We are taking up those challenges to be able also to lead the same way men can lead. Many a times, when I go for meetings, I'm told that Machakos is a county of Machakos girls. And I think I believe them. Because looking at the leadership of the county, we find that women are at that level, right? And they are doing great things for this county. So for us as a team, we need to support each other so that we move this county to greater heights. I want to just pose a question to the audience. And through this question, I think we can be able to see how we can assist our different MDAs wherever we are serving to ensure that we have gender parity that will enable our country to move forward in terms of development. How can organizations encourage and support women in leadership roles? And by so doing, I'm one of them. I lead a wholesome county, and I know I need the 3 stones that Professor talked about for that sub-county to succeed. The lady I'm representing is leading a county, so she is not going to walk singly. She needs the 3 stones to be able to move this county to another level. So I will just want to look at the issue of provision of equal opportunities. In our different MDAs, wherever you are serving, ensure that you create that at the human resource level so that we have equal opportunities given to our ladies. If the men are many, give to the men so that we have that equal participation. And when we do that, what are we focusing at? Every institution has a mission and a vision. There are different things that women will bring on board. There are different things that men will bring on board. If we do that, we shall be able to achieve our mission and vision in a very easy way, because we have all partners on board and they are going to bring together their minds to be able to focus on the mission of that institution so that it moves forward. Number 2, the issue of mentorship. At this level, we are supposed to be mentors. If you are a lady in leadership and you don't mentor your team, I think you are doing a lot of disjustice to that team. Let us not look at our juniors as our competitors. Encourage them to be like you. Encourage them to take over when you exit. Because many a times you find that the problem of transition is a real problem in every department. Why? Because those who were ahead of us did not train us to be like them. Somehow they would want to, when they reach like in public service, you reach 60, you want to request for another extra 2 years. Why? Because you did not prepare your juniors to step into your feet, so that there is a big gap. The turnover becomes so big. So let us see how we can mentor and train our institutions, human personnel, so that we move our agendas within that institution forward. The other thing is we need to support work-life balance. I've just seen Professor having a very nice vision for the ladies who will be working in Machakos University. When you have a crèche, I think you are allowing them to be mothers at their workplace, right? Yes, and that is what we like. Like me now, I don't think I can give birth at this age, But I would have wished that I stayed with my children and moved with them in my workplace. We find that our children have a lot of challenge because many of us placed our children in boarding schools at a very early age. I know my daughter, I have a daughter who is my firstborn. She has like 10 uniforms in her wardrobe for primary school. You come to secondary school because most of the secondary schools are boarding, at least that is where now she survived. But for primary school, to date, you go to her wardrobe, you'll find more than 10 uniforms. Why? Because I'm an officer who is supposed to move from one county to another. Because that is what I signed for. I can work anywhere at any time. And many a times when our men who are in the human resource do the transfers, they don't look at a woman who is lactating. They don't look at those situations. And they look at you as an officer. So we keep moving from place to place, and at the end of the day, we actually affect our families. Some of my colleagues today entered the service, they got married. But as we talk today, they are single. It's not because we want to be single. It's because the partner whom they married was not able to understand that this woman is in power and has to move from place to place. So for those of us who are married, we thank God, because every day when I enter my house, I have to shed off the work. Hiyo inaitwa pick up. I have to shed it at the door. Nikiingia kwa nyumba, I become a mother. And that is why Mr. Mohoe is very happy with me. Or else I don't think I will be here talking about being married. I would be very single because of the demands that come with our work, that come while in our tour of service. So we call upon our men to understand the ladies. Understand them. When you see a woman coming late, please just understand. Listen to her. If it becomes like recurrent, that is when you can make a decision to do something. But if it's just once, understand them. Because they are coming from an environment where they have to be caregivers at the family level. They give the firstborn, and you know the firstborn is the husband, right? Who also, when in the house, want to pretend to behave like a child. Huh? So they are caregiving the children, at the same time the husband. So understand us from that perspective. And when you support us, we can really be able to give our all. Another issue is provide chances for hiring and upscaling and promotion. Many a times when promotions come, you will find that it's just one or two ladies. And that is what warranted that act in the Constitution, that neither of the gender should be more than 2/3. Because before, it was very obvious. You go to an office, you find a whole team is coming from one tribe. A whole team maybe is one gender. And it becomes a big issue when we are handling different things that affect our human resource. So kindly look into that. As leaders, we can make a change. The other thing is I want to talk about politics. And this one I'm talking to our guest. Make a deliberate move to invite women to vie for those positions. Because many a times you'll find that when you look at the list of IBC, you'll find that those who are vying are actually men. Because women fear. They fear to participate and compete with the men. And at this level, we don't want to be given free things. I don't know how Madam Kamene did it. Maybe she will tell us how she managed. But it is a big, big issue because me, I serve in the community and I understand. I remember the last election, there is a lady who was brought to the ground by a certain party, I will not mention. And she didn't know what to do because we wanted that to be to be catered for under to that rule. And it was a very big issue for her. We had to come up as ladies, as women, to support her, to have that courage to go through the system. Of course, we knew that she would not be able to win, but she did. At least she went to a certain level to participate as a woman and support the woman. Women have skills which men don't have. When I was in college, I think there was that issue, we have the women have the sixth sense, something like that. Mm-hmm. What is that thing that we have as women that men don't have, that we want to bring on board? What is it? Any woman who knows what we have that men don't have by nature? Amujui? And I've just seen it in Professor. So we have that issue called emotion. We have those feelings. No, men don't feel. Like if anything happened here, I'll see women cry. But to see a man cry, it is not easy. But the men also cry, but in silence. They don't cry in the public. So because you have that sense, that touch, you can be able to reach out wherever we are to ensure that we encourage our women, the young ladies, to do what we are doing now. And by so doing, they will make a big, big contribution in the career and also bring a lot of changes that will encourage the women in the village to also emulate the same. Would like to look at a few obstacles that hinder the ladies from performing well while at work. These obstacles include what I've just already talked about, motherhood. We have family responsibilities. We have caregiving services. We have also health issues right now. As you can see, there are a lot of health issues affecting us. They also affect the men gender, but mostly it's the woman who carries the burden. Too much responsibilities can lead to burnout and stress or depression, which may result to depression. And I want to thank the organizers of this function, because at least you have assisted to remove some stress from me. Right on the ground, we had heavy rains. I'm always out, trying to see who is affected and who is not affected, whom we are supposed to give humanitarian support. So because you called me and when I came, I found the sitting is very nice. I was just talking to my lady on my right that this is what we need once in a while. And also the service that you have given. You know, for us, like when I'm in the field, whatever I took for breakfast, I was just sharing with Grace, whatever I took for breakfast is what I take for lunch or supper. So I was asking her, if this is breakfast, how will our lunch be? So I was very happy because when you bring us here, we also remove that level of stress. And when we go back fresh and ready to serve our people. So why insist on gender diversity at this time? Why? Because institutions and companies with gender diversity are more successful in keeping a low turnover rate. They also make decisions that are binding and innovative. So if we have to assist each other, wherever we are working, to ensure that our county is competing with the 47 counties, then we have to ensure that we bring both genders on board. Away from the challenges that we face, we have to ensure that we support each other in that field. Advantages of women in leadership. Women leaders help increase productivity. They enhance collaboration. They inspire organizational dedication, and improve fairness. That is why there is that saying that when you educate one, what happens? Where are the teachers? When you educate one woman or one lady, You are educating? Why is it that way? So we have to, those are our strong pillars. When we sort ourselves, that is our opportunity. That is our strength. So let us assist to ensure that we bring parity in service. Another issue, lastly, I'm just almost there. I want to believe that leaders who embrace and create a safe and supportive work environment, who delegate tasks effectively. I heard Professor saying she delegates because that is why she's successful. If you are working alone, you are working to lose. Where there's delegation, you enable your team to know exactly what is required of you as a team leader. So for the ladies, let us embrace the issue of delegation so that we teach others what they are supposed to do to bring on board and improve our performance countrywide. Set a positive role model, that one I've already also talked about it, that are likely to succeed than those who practice management. When you practice pure management, you become a leader who cannot be consulted. You become a leader who is leading, who is working alone. People fear. Instead of having respect for you, they fear you. And when you are feared at work, go and ask yourself, there's something wrong. A good leader is one who puts themselves in the shoes of the team they are leading. And women, we don't want to be given things on a silver spoon. Let us wake up. Let us fight for what is ours. Many a times, like in a meeting, because I hold many meetings, you go to a meeting, you discuss the issues, you finish, then when you ask for a prayer, I'm sorry, Sheikh, I'm sorry. When they ask for a prayer and there is no pastor, we'll always call upon a lady to pray. Is the lady is the one who is seconding the minutes. The lady is the one who says, I concur. We don't want to be those kind of ladies. We want to be the ladies whose voice is heard. Sawa sawa. Because if your voice is heard, then you are passing across something to the people you are leading. So this is a challenge to these ladies in management, that at a given point, when we come visiting you at different institutions, and we find that what we have talked about is still happening, that means you are not ready to assist your fellow ladies to come up. So let us encourage them to raise their voice. Let them be heard. Assist us, give us that chance so that we are heard. Do not brush us off because we are supposed to be your rib. If the rib is in pain, will the neck stand? With the hide reason, if your rib is in pain, it won't, right? So for us here, we need to work as support each other. Men and women support each other so that we achieve our missions, we achieve our agendas, and we assist to bring this community of Machakos County to a level which can compete on international level with other counties or countries outside. So for us to do that, we need to begin as yesterday. And from what I've seen, Professor saying, I think we are ready to support the university. You have also supported my team. You remember the time you called us here as administrators? You really supported my team. And from what they learned, they are giving out to the public. And that is what is important. So we are there, we want to support each other. We want to ensure that when they are talking of success, Machakos becomes an example. So thank you very much. And I want to wish each one of us well. that let it not stop here. Let us move with what we are discussing so that when you come down to my level, I'll be able to emulate the same. Are we together? So thank you, and I really appreciate the chance that I was given. Madam Mumbi, thank you. I was asking her, which field am I supposed to touch on? And she's like, no, I don't know. Yeah? But I think it is okay. Next time we shall be more prepared to have at least something that we can give.
Don't delay these busy people who are here. So I don't know, in my profession, it's loud enough. We normally say seniors, like Dr. Mercy here is my senior. She's a senior counsel, so I call her my senior. I don't know how it is in the hierarchy of academia, but it is my single pleasure to welcome you, Professor Raphael Monavu, to address the plenary. Karibu sana.
Good morning, everybody. I really must thank the convener of this engagement. It is an eye-opener, and I think the VC has shared with us the vision of this university. And I think it's a vision that all of us must own. And it's a vision that seems to be anchored on clear foundation, on projects that you are thinking about. But this is the first engagement, I think, in all the universities, and I've been in the universities for the last 50 years, where there has been really engagement of all the stakeholders, and congratulations, madam. To see, in most other places, it would be only maybe very rarely would you see the Vice Chancellor sitting to a chief guest who is representing the governor. Very few. This is very important. An engagement where you have the banking sector, I think it's an eye-opener. And therefore, we as stakeholders of this university, this is a fantastic beginning, a beginning that we need to support, because when we support the university, then all of us support ourselves, we support the community, we support socio-economic development of the country, we support the region, and we support the human race. It's extremely important. The university is a very interesting entity because it addresses very critical issues that touch our lives, our culture, value systems, morals, and so on. And fortunately, it was captured very well in our Constitution, Article 10 of our Constitution, about values, and Article 11 on culture. Who are we, and where are we going? I see a clarion call of the university here, co-creating the future that we want. We are a generation. We are going to have future generations. You will have grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and so on. So what it is that we are doing must be something that will resonate with how they should live. So periodically close your eyes in the university and say, what future do I see for my great-grandchildren? Because you will have great-grandchildren. I know now you have only children, but you'll have grandchildren, you'll have great-grandchildren, and so on. It will happen, by the way. Yeah? And one of the things that I think about when we think about the future that we want, Prof, we want a future where we don't want to talk about unemployment. We want our young people, years to come, to be employed, isn't it? To be occupied. We want a future where we have industries. The industries are the ones that will create jobs. The industries are the ones that will create wealth for us. We don't want a future where we will be begging all the time. And you can go and quote me. Begging, begging, begging. We want a future where we are saying, as Kenyans, we have our natural resources. We now have knowledge to be able to transform these natural resources into wealth, into the goods that we want. That is extremely important. In education, within the universities. And you can tell that to the governor. It is extremely important that all of us focus on developing the skills that our country will need. That is why this engagement is so important. It's a stakeholder engagement. And even when we are developing the flagship projects, Madam VC, I am happy that you mention, you share with them, so that the stakeholders also can make comments and can make contributions on how the way forward looks like. I am very delighted to join you here. It is education, and I hope, by the way, that we can be doing this on an annual basis. Let us not just think about what we are going to learn from other countries or other counties, but what other counties can come and learn from us, so that we have an annual engagement, an annual county engagement forum coordinated by all the key players touching on education for our future, so that we can all co-create the future that we want. It's extremely important. I told you that there is no country that has advanced that does not focus on education. I remember way back in '96, I visited some universities in India. And they had these universities called IITs, Indian Institutes of Technology. And their focus was very clear. Training for the skills that we want. But the university may not know the skills. So you have to engage with the private sector, the industrialists, because they know the skills that they need. It's extremely important. The other thing that is very important for us to realize is just being together, holistic approach. You can even call it a family approach to the way we are moving forward. If you want to determine the rate of development of any country globally, and this is something that the United Nations has adopted, you use the Human Development Index, HDI. So to know how you are rated with respect to all the other countries in terms of how developed are you as a country, they look at 3 metrics. They look at health, and they measure health by life expectancy. Then they look at the brown envelope, ile envelope kidogo iko hapo, pesa per person, GDP per capita. But the third thing they look at is, what capacity do you have to develop the skills that you need and the leadership that you need? Leadership that is anchored on culture, on value systems, on morals and things like those. So they reach a matrix. With those three matrices, then they are able to categorize how developed you are. Education, and you can go and Google it and check it, now takes the critical point. It is the major matrix, it's education. And by the way, out of 180 countries, where do you think Kenya ranks? I will not tell you, go and Google it. But I can just tell you that when you do the calculation, and the calculation is based, the first country is given 1. And then the others, 0 point this, 0 point this, 0 point this, all the way down. In Africa, we are not doing badly, but we are just, in terms of the development index, we have about 0.6 something. Globally, not doing very well, but country-wise, continental-wise, we are not that bad. We are about the third within Africa in terms of development. And it's because of education. The question is, what education? The question is, and your vision is very clear. What is it that we are going to do? How will Machakos transform the county, but also transform the country, and to transform human race? Because as a university, it is not just localized. It is bigger than that. If you look at universities now in America, they are now crying. They have been making some changes, but they were being funded mainly because of students from abroad, international students. It's a process known as internationalization. One senator many years ago in the US, Consolata, you remember I told you this story, where this senator was asked, how do we control the world? How shall we call the shot internationally? And this senator said, the only way to control people, the only way to make friends is through education. That's why you had, for example, the Boya airlift, 1960s, and so forth. Every country, Europe is doing, now they have started again. There was a problem a few years ago because of COVID, but now they have started. They are recruiting students from foreign countries so that they can generate resources, but also so that they can create friends, make friends. It's a way in which you can do foreign affairs. So, Governor, don't feel bad if I call you that, because I see it, your DNA and so on. Let's find a way in which we make stakeholders, the community, and everybody here, let it be the destination of people seeking education in various programs, madam. So that, please, in your dream, think about how can we internationalize this institution? How can we internationalize this county? So that it is education, but it's also tourism, it is resource mobilization, and so forth. Can it be done? Yes, it can be done. Let me say a final comment. Among the projects that I saw, your vision, and many of them really are doable. They are real dreams. They are achievable, And I think before we leave, we all need to say, and we make it a declaration or a resolution, that what you have said, the projects that you have really highlighted, are projects that we say we are all jointly going to assist and work together so that we achieve them. So that those who are in favor say, hi. Now the deal is done. But there is one or two that are very critical, and then I will sit down. One of them is we have tended as human beings to work alone as silos, also as institutions. That is wrong. Sometimes even as individuals. And it is not right. The creation of man and woman had a purpose, so that you are never alone. You are always together. You are holding hands, and so forth. Culturally, but by the way, it is international. I discovered it was international. You know, when men sit and they are trying to make decisions, you know, wanakaa, they want to make decisions, they can't agree, they say, okay, let's go and sleep over it. Okay? Unaenda nyumbani. Ukifika nyumbani, unaenda unalala. Ulikuwa wapi? Aha, tulikuwa tunafanya hii, tumediscuss hii na tumeshindwa. Mtu wako karibu na wewe anakuambia, hiyo iko hakuna tabu hapo, fanya A, B, C, D. Then you sleep very peacefully. Tomorrow mnakutana. Did you sleep over it? Yes. We have found an answer now. Hiyo answer ilitoka wapi? Hapo tu mahali ulikuwa umelala. It is very important for us to realize that collaboration and working together is extremely important. Don't try to do it alone, even as an institution, even as a county. And I'm just saying it. See how you can collaborate and work together with the institutions to achieve your mission and your vision. And therefore, as Machakos University, I think the idea of bringing together the banks and so on, equity, do you have a board who is in the banking sector? Not for now. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Also, think of HFCK, housing finance. Yeah. Zungumza na wao. Hii kitu unasema ya hostels. Let them do it. But you have to jointly do it with the county. Because they will say, do you have property? So you go to the county, and I know they have some acres in a particular place, and you know it's government to government. So there should be no issue. So we can have one of the best students' hostels in Kenya. And they call it the Students' Hostel of Hope. Okay? In Machakos. It can be done. There is no reason why one of the biggest universities in the world is called Stanford University in California. If I ask you what town it is, you may not even know. It's a small town called Palo Alto. But in 1968, when I visited there, they used to call it East Nairobi, because there was some political issues, black people and freedom fighting in America and so on. So there were a lot of black people there in California, so they used to call it East Nairobi. Okay? That place. Do you know what eventually happened? Stanford is the one that triggered the creation of what is known as Silicon Valley. The computers you are using, Anything that you are doing technical, it is that place. It is that university. And they were very passionate, they were very committed, because they trained their people in the university, and then they mentored them so that they can go and start businesses. Then they say, but don't go very far. Just go to the Silicon Valley. And they assist. So the issue of what the VC said about incubation center, science and technology park, that is the one that is going to transform Kenya. And that is what should be driven by university. For example, you are developing a science and technology park. If CONSA is developing, it doesn't have to do it alone. Think of collaboration, working together. So Machakos University is positioned geographically. You are over the advantage of the other 74 universities in Kenya, because you are so close. Okay? Anything to do with ICT, please link up with CONSA Technopolis. Jitume, you have it here. Okay? There are other things that they are doing. Keep on talking to them. Okay? And inviting them even for a breakfast jointly. Okay? Wait, don't go and tell your people. Okay? What we are discussing here. Finally, and this is important, climate change is something that, as a university, and on the basis of where you are domiciled, you need to really think about. My challenge is this for all of us. We do things like they were never done before. We do things like we didn't have challenges in the past, but there were always challenges. But our ancestors always did things in particular ways. There were some trees that you could not go and cut. You know that. If you were going to harvest honey, there were ways that you could do it. You did not try to kill the bees. You used a particular smoke that they would just go, then you harvest the honey and they come back. Okay? That is called indigenous knowledge and the indigenous technology and so forth. This is something that I challenge universities. Please see if we can harvest it so that I don't want to mention about Ndini, but for other things, like medicine and so on, those are things that one can think about, so that you say, is it possible for us to have an institute for indigenous technology, an institute for indigenous science and technology, and so on, because they were there. And by the way, if somebody asks you, and Njoroge, uko hapo? Mwenye pesa? It is like he read my mind. He knew what I was going to say. Because it is very important for us when we are talking about those indigenous things. You discuss so that you establish an institute for indigenous science and technology, and make sure the government puts in money for funding this and justify. And when you are justifying it, go there and stand firm and don't smile and say, you know, I am a Kenyan, I believe in the Constitution. Article 11 says that we must respect our indigenous science and technology. And we as a government must work to protect and promote it. That's what the article says. So you say, so Treasury should fund this project so that we comply with the requirement of our Constitution 2010. And I'm sure if you do that and you pursue it nicely, you'll get funding to move forward. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya has a fantastic future. The role that ladies are playing is not questionable. And if you ask me, for example, and I have been a VC 20 years ago, but if you ask me who has been one of the most outstanding VCs, for example, in Kenya, aha, and she's a lady. Those of you who come from Okambani, just as an example, who is the most treasured and respected lady in our generation who was guiding the community many years ago? Do you know? Kiamba? Very good. Sio Kimau. Yeah, she was a seer. She was just an educationist, but not in the Western concept, but she could project, okay? And so on. In Ghana, the most outstanding leader was a lady fighting the Wazungu, okay? And the Wazungu came, and you can't touch a lady when fighting because it will be a curse. So you can beat men, but ladies, you just see them, and Kambas used to know how to do it because they would just grab the Maasais. Then the Maasais knew better, they would come back, but they don't grab back their ladies. They grab back now, Kamba ladies. I mean, our cultures are very interesting, eh? And they are very beautiful. It's not like, like those days. So, my final parting shot is this university is a university with a clear vision. It's a university that we need to support. It is a university that I believe will need to focus on science, technology, plus a few other things, because we must the industries within this region. The US, they made a law which said every state in the US must have a university. And each state was mandated to grant land to anybody who wants to start a university. They were called land grant universities. Okay? Because they knew that the only thing that will catalyze the development in that particular town or region will be the university. So in this region, and as well as in other regions, please, let us look for a way in which we work jointly, collaboratively, the county, the industry, all the stakeholders, key players in the economy, so that the economy of the region can move. And when it moves, all of us benefit, the country benefits, and the human race benefits. And we will be thanked. Even if you are not thanked here, if people abuse you, these guys will tell you that you will be thanked sometime. Okay? So do we agree that we will all be appreciated at one time? Let's not just do things to be told, thank you here. Okay? Let's do things which is something which is correct, something which is good, something which is good for future generations, and then we will be recognized and be appreciated at that time. I really appreciate you, I congratulate you, and I love your passion and the passion of the team that you have. And I like the lady, she. But don't forget, there was a he. The he comes first. That's why you say God the Father. You never say, you don't say the mother. Why? We say God the Father. Yeah. So God the Father bless all of you. Asante sana. Now, I think we are here in a very interesting place, and because of the importance of holistic or whole government approach, we must now request our chief guest, who is our main host of this university. And by the way, and I will discuss this with you, please, and don't tell others. These universities were created when we recommended to Kibaki way back in 2006, and I was in that committee called the, that was Public Universities Inspection Board at that time. So we said each region must have a university. Each county must have a university so that it can catalyze development in that particular area. And so it worked. So we are very delighted, and you should be appreciative. But this university will be driven by the input of the county. Please, see what you can do as we move forward. Asante sana.
How do you plan and invite me to speak after? I have a one page, something to read. But before that, we are at the right place. Personally, I appreciate the university through our Vice Chancellor, our council, the university management, and everyone who came. You are very important, and God knows you are very important. Starting up there at the international stage, America one time was a very poor country, a very poor country. So they sent a few elected leaders to the subcontinent of India to see how are they doing it in terms of transforming their country. And they found there was a kind of development at the very lower level of the country. And while we are in India, we remember Mahatma Gandhi, what he said, that India was not going to be developed simply by having so many industrial towns, but India was to be developed by how many villages are transformed. What the leaders from US picked was that lower level development, and they carried it back to go and develop a strategy to develop America. We know what America it is today. Soon after independence, we knew before Korea was won under colonialism of Japan. But after the Second World War, they still remained one, but because of this communism, capitalism, democracy versus this dictatorial leadership, there was war, Korean War, early from 50 to 1953. So the communism and these others agreed, North, remain who you want to remain, but South, remain a democratic country under US, France, Britain. The reason why I'm telling you this story, I will demonstrate shortly. So, after those divisions, the 10 years that followed, political leaders who are there continued looting the country. mismanaging the country. So once Junior Major General Chak Pang-hee felt early 1960s, this is too much. Over 10 years after independence, and the country is sinking, sinking, sinking. So what he decided to do is to convince 3 of his allies, the end of intelligence and another general, so that they just take over the country. There was what they had agreed. Then they took over the country. Major General Chak Pang-hee concentrated on 2 critical issues, which our 2 good professors, Professor Madam Joyce Angalo and Professor Manabu, have so well elaborated. What that Major General concentrated on was 1, education. 2, the policy that was being practiced in India, that was, there they called it a village program. In Kenya, recently, we started bottom up. I'm sure if it is well executed, we will reach somewhere. Whether it is done or not done, that's for another day. On a principle, yesterday evening, I was ordered, it was an order for me to be here this morning to represent the governor of this county. Alongside me is, there are supposed to be 3 ministers, but one is somewhere where I'm supposed to be. That is our Minister for Trade, Sharon Mutua, who was also a speaker. And I'm also the chair of a very important memorial service that will be held on Saturday. It is a national event actually at Modedene in this county for the late Joseph Mulu Mutesia. He was mentioned by one of us. I'm the chair, and there's something she's holding very important. So you will allow me, I introduce the team that are here from the county government. I will mention one. The rest I will ask them to be upstanding, at least to be seen, if they did not run away. Yes, that is our Minister for Education. She's Dr. Consolata Mutisia. Thank you, Madam, for coming. We had also our Minister for Water, who is now taking over as Minister for Agriculture in the county government of Machakos. She was here, Catherine Mutano. And since she's being handed over this morning, she had to leave. So you will forgive us for that. The rest are officers from my office led by director there. In fact, she was not introduced. And the rest of the team. So very good, asanteni. Just 2 minutes. No, leave it. I think it's okay the way it is. The county commissioner, ably represented by our Matungolo DCC, Madam Wekesa, Machakos, is it Machakos University or Machakos Technical University? You're in the process to become MATU. Very good. Machakos University Chair of the Council, ably represented by Dr. Mercy, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Joyce Angalo, distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, continuous dialogue and collaborations with the industry partners are paramount in ensuring that Machakos University remains aligned with the needs of the industry. Our commitment, oh, thank you. Our commitment to preparing our students to work ready upon graduation is unwavering, and your insights and feedback are invaluable in achieving this goal. Today's meeting provides us with a unique platform to share ideas and then exchange experiences. It is through these collaborative efforts that we can enhance the quality of our educational programs, foster innovation, and create meaningful opportunities for our students. Machakos University continues to excel in academia, research, and innovation, setting new benchmarks for excellency. In addition to the university's academic achievements, she is equally dedicated to community outreach, enhancing student experience. This is very important, because if we remain here inside as students and we don't know what the world demands of us, then there is a challenge. These efforts reflect our holistic approach to education and our commitment to nurturing well-rounded individuals who are prepared to make a positive impact in the society. I am optimistic about the future and confident of Machakos University collective ability to overcome challenges, seize opportunities, and continue our journey towards excellency. Together, we can shape the future of our education and make lasting difference in the lives of students and communities. As I conclude, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to each of you for your continued support, collaboration, and commitment to the success of Machakos University and the entire county. Thank you and God bless you. Sasa nimekuwa mrefu tena. For sure, allow me to say this. I've learned a lot. In terms of application going forward, I think I'm convinced and I know what to do after this very moment once I leave. I want to say one or two things and I sit. One is at a personal level, I do not know the Vice Chancellor of this university at a personal level. I've never gone to her office to meet her, nor have I ever invited her to pass by. And I know she passes there every day. But one thing, and I think there is something unique from what I'm seeing from Madam Joyce, is, and I think, Professor, you nurtured a whole person. And you did us proud. When the history of this county is written, I think there will be a chapter in what you did. Personally, I know Professor too well because of our work. And I would say, at one point, I have a background in security. Even in parliament, when I was there, I was in security committee. And you know, in the absence of security, there is nothing, even what we are discussing here cannot be achieved. But Madam came in as acting Vice Chancellor, during when this town, not only the university, the town had a lot of challenges security-wise. She managed to contain. We are peacefully seated here, executing our programs under very peaceful environment. Now, that is a God-given wisdom. And I think maybe what I'm seeing is what Professor Monavo saw many, many years ago. And we will go far. What I want to tell you is in the event I live here and you happen to be up there, don't forget this institution, because God will take you somewhere. Not human being. Then the second and the last. Embu is being transformed because there is Embu University around there. Nairobi is what it is because of the universities are around and within, both private and public, and it is able to have even satellites. Look at what is happening down here at Kwavonza because of SECO, Southeastern University. Eldoret is what it is today. It's not even supposed to be a town. But because of universities, Moi University and Eldoret University, immediate former Eldoret National Polytechnic, we can see what is happening there. Here in Machakos, we are not an exception. We have an institution here we will work with, and that is why Governor sent me here, because of our confidence in this institution, because of our respect and honor to the management of this university led by the Vice Chancellor. I'll take the message back, but there is something I know of immediate concern I will do. And because I know, I respect her, I love her, she listens to me. You know, there is something you have said, listening. It's very important. Underline listening is very important. So, let me not announce what I will do, but immediately after here, there's something I will make sure I know where the governor is. We'll have a sitting en route to somewhere I'm going, and I will know what to do. So, Professor Monavo, asante sana. Na there is a challenge I want to give to all of us here. Moi, President Moi, late, as a primary school teacher in his last years in office, nilikuwa mwanafunzi huko chini primary school. So he was coming from Kitui. And because I like singing, choir, church, singing, tulikuwa kwa shule hapo, so tukaimbia nyayo, nyayo, nyayo. He was very happy. Akatupatia 50,000. That 50,000, tulinunua viatu. And it was my first time kuvaa kiatu. So, tukiongea juu ya viongozi Kenya, huwezi niambia kuna viongozi bila kutaja Moi. Sasa according to me. But kuna kitu mzee Moi alisema. Although alikuwa professor wa siasa, lakini anasema siasa mbaya. Community, sometimes we elect, the leaders you elect reflects who you are. Okay? Privately, I've been telling some people who are here and others out there that as the leadership of this county, there is something we can do. President of Kenya loves this country, and I know he loves Ukambani more. I know him. Those who are close to him and they are here, they know I know him, and I know what he's for. If as a county and as a region, we sat down and went to him, asking for 5 to 10 billion to transform this institution, whether it will come from the exchequer or elsewhere, I know he can avail those resources. But because of our pettiness, this is a national institution. But when we as coming together to develop it, we were developed by people. Moi, until nikuwe mbunge na niende kumuona, hakunijua. But alitupea as a school, he gave us 50,000. And out of it, nikapata viatu. Alinijua kweli. If where I come from, I was not well taken care of, will I be standing here as a deputy governor? Why can't I take care of somebody else so that somebody else can take care of the world? President Obama said, yes, we can. We are able to make it happen. All of us. Sidio? Mother Teresa once said, you will not do what she is supposed to do, and she will not do what you are supposed to do. But together, we can do great things. Sidio? Hiyo ya bishop, hiyo wacha hiyo yako nilisema leo. So, nimeongea mengi, and I know we are tired to make it for a long time, but I wish, I wish, from lower level of election mpaka huku juu, tukikuwa kitu kimoja, Mungu ange ideas like what I'm hearing from here, and I will take it up with Professor Manafu from here, because I know what he is capable of doing, and others think we will go far. Sidio? Oh, I wish I came here and every elected leader was in this room. Huh? And they hear what I'm hearing. They see what I'm... yeah. Huh? By the way, I don't know, people here, I don't know whether you have learned something. Professor Angalo, when she was presenting here, she has passionately thanked and quoted academically something she came up, her dissertation, that was picked by Professor Monavo, and out of it, an institution was established. Then what she said next was, he meant that me up to, I came to this region and to this place. Ama ni mimi nilisikia? Guy. Aye. So now, as I exit this door, mimi nitakumbukwa na nini? What will I be remembered for? Huh? This is for these people, sons and daughters who come from this region. As we go to celebrate Mulu, Mulu alisaidia watu wengi. Hata Professor Munapo alikuwa anatueleza how he used to do it. But some of us who will be going there for political reasons. But in exercise, in practice, are we doing what Mulu lived for? Despite the fact that he had no formal education. Sidio? Ai, tuko kwa university, wacha tuache haya mambo. So, for ladies, he and she work collaboratively. Kwa speech ya governor hiyo ndio amesema, work together, mmoja asiache mwingine. Ndio maana mimi nashikilia hiyo Machakos Girls. Hiyo mtu akinguza hiyo sasa tunako. Hiyo Machakos Girls hiyo nabebana nayo sana. Senator, woman rep, my governor, mtu akinguza hao sasa anaanza kuniguza mahali mbaya. And my prayers ni Mungu asaidie governor. Hata 2027 yaingia malize term yake. Aya hapo sasa hiyo namna hiyo. Sidio? Lakini ya Mungu maombi yangu na my support nataka gavana malize term yake, because I know she's doing great things. As a principal deputy na mtu ambaye niko karibu na yeye, I know what she means for this county. I know she's out. By the way, Professor, you remember when she was a member of parliament, a ranking was done, investigation was done, research was done, and across the country she topped. By then she was just a girl trying to learn about the ropes of leadership. Today, if we have Professor Agalo here, we have Senator Kavindu, we have Governor Wavinya, we have our woman rep, we have the regional boss wa Equity yako hapa, nimemwona Isashi, rafiki yangu. We have president hapa wa wanafunzi. Haya, kuna our DCC Matungulu na wale wengine wako hapa. Tuko na minister wetu wa education here, Dr. Consolata, a university professor and consultant. Ameacha hayo akuje kufanyia kazi watu wa Machakos. She is a daughter from here. If you are seeing these great leaders, a girl child, ni nini hiyo hawezi fanya? Bana, ngangana nao wanaume, wachana na hiyo story. So the only thing is what we are achieving, what we are attaining here. Sidio? Hata hapa kuna wanaume wengi kwa council, lakini it is Dr. Mazi amesimama hapa. Yes. Namna hiyo. Na nyinyi wanaume mjipange. Mjipange. Professor yako ngojea amejipanga mpaka university sasa saa hii. Is nini? Then finally, this is my last word. And on a serious note, sasa wacheni na hiyo ingine hapo ya mama, wacheni na hiyo. Sasa we need to work collaboratively, particularly this university, and I want to be quoted correctly. This is a national institution. The vision of the Vice Chancellor and the management of this institution, they want to take it to an international level, to become an international institution. That is achievable. Now that God has placed another national institution called Konza Techno-City, which is in this county, I think these three public institutions should work closely, collaboratively, partnering, then other partners, and I'm sure at the end of the day, great things like Mother Teresa said will be seen and will be seen as products of these three institutions. Si Mungu awabariki zaidi. Lakini anibariki zaidi sana. Asanteni sana. Sasa, Madam Vice Chancellor, unajua napenda hii chuo hiki nakipenda sana. But because I'm the chair of that function on Saturday, I was set to see some bishops and led by Bishop Timothy Nambuki. From here, actually, I'm late with 1 hour. So I wanted to see them before I take report back to my boss and another one up there. So, utaniomba, ninawaomba sana, through you, na professor, muniruhusu, nikimaliza tu, na University Council, tafadhalini, nikimbie nisiharibu kule kwingine. But nawapenda sana, and may God bless you. Thank you.
gloves. Our chief guest, and we thank you very much that you need to cut this cake that has been made by Machakos University, but I will give the dean here to speak on behalf of this cake. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Good afternoon. Yeah, I wish to appreciate the Vice Chancellor for giving us an opportunity and propelling us to our purpose. Thank you so much. Governor, Your Excellency, we have made a cake. It's from the Department of Hospitality, from this school. And it's also to tell you that when you have guests, you can always invite us to come and serve your guests. Now, we have a cake. It's written together as one. It's also written, propel her purpose. And someone can read from that side. Read from that side, please. Yeah, so here we are working together, and we thank God for the opportunity. We would ask the governor to cut this cake kindly, and we have a glove for you. You'll be assisted by our Vice Chancellor and the Chairman of Council. You are there. Thank you, Daktari. Chairman of Council will also be here with us. Thank you. You have a glove. Now, this cake symbolizes unity for us as an institution. Can we have the Deputy Vice Chancellors in here with us? Professor Mugendi, Professor James Mola, so that we can have this cake. Professor Munavu, where are you? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the great words. And I want to ask, yes, we have a bishop here, and we have imam. So we are not reminding you of your wedding, but we are doing it together as one. Thank you so much. So, is it prayed for before? Okay, we can pray. We can have Bishop Kababu. Thank you.
Shall we pray, our Father and our God, as we move towards crowning this event? And now we are here to cut the cake. We pray for your blessing upon the same. We thank you for providing it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Professor Munavu, kuja karibu tafadhali. Thank you for your wisdom.
Professor.
We're cutting. Thank you. It's going down. This is an educational institution. It's symbolizing the books that we read here and teach. And like I said, it's made from the Department of Hospitality in this university. Thank you. Can I go this way? Yeah, there's a board. I can't go. Thank you. It's been done. Can we clap, please? Thank you, thank you. Now, I'll ask the chief guest, our governor, to kindly taste the cake. Vice Chancellor, serve our chief guest.
In prayer, and kindly do not leave the food behind. There's a lot of food. It has now culminated, like I had predicted, brunch, breakfast and lunch. So food is still available. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Allow me to first begin by saying thank you to the organizing committee that sat together to put this function together and to invite us and to prepare and to make sure that we received our invitations in the right time. To our chief guest, the Deputy Governor, we want to say thank you so much for coming, sparing your time and the entire entourage of the university. We recognize everyone that has come. Lene Kiamba, thank you so much. We recognize all the institutions that have chipped in to make this event a success. As you see in our banners, we had institutions that came in to chip in, to support, and they have sent their leaders here. We recognize your presence. I may not mention all, but I see Old Mutual, I see APA, I see NU Health, I see KCB, Equity Bank, I see Citian Bank, I see others, great institutions that have made this a success. Not to forget the entire support team from Machakos University. Can we just put our hands, one clap, and appreciate them all? Let's appreciate them together. Thank you so much. Once again, we've been reminded that lunch has been prepared for us. Please, let's not leave the food for them. In the Jewish culture, you connect deep when you eat. So we know you took the breakfast. Crown it with the lunch. Amen. Shall we bow for a word of prayer? Our Father, we are so grateful that you are our God and that it is written in your word that blessed is the nation in whom the Lord is God. And this afternoon, we agree that Machakos University is blessed because you are God in this institution. We want to thank you for this function that has taken place here and the vision that has been realized by this function happening. Thank you for the leadership of this university, the university council, the university management, and our Vice Chancellor, Madam Professor Joyce Agalo. We want to thank you for everyone, the community, the church, the county government, our chief guest who took his time to come. I pray that you bless us. Bless our time together as even we delve into having lunch together. Bless us. And as we leave this place to our respective places, I pray that may the angel of your presence be with us. Prosper everything that has been cast in this place, declared in this place, and give us another moment together to see all that has been said here, the vision that has been cast here, realized, and we shall once again say thank you. Bless us and watch over our lives. Bless our institution. Bless our county. Bless our nation. In Jesus' mighty name we give thanks. Amen. Shalom. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Have a beautiful afternoon. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. So kindly now you can start networking. CCM Daktari, kindly come and say something as you're networking. We apologize, we had to cut short the program. but let her say something.
Professor Munavu, not as an invited guest here, but as my family. Professor Munavu is my uncle. Professor Munavu marries Professor Salome Munavu, and Salome Munavu is a sister to my mother. So I'm very honored. I'm here with my father, or my uncle. Let me talk it in the Kikamba way. Nibana ango wakwa. So I'm very proud and I'm really happy. I had prepared something to present, but because of time, I can't present. But Machakos University, just know that the county government of Machakos supports you very much. We were here last time when we were launched at our county. You know, the county education, university education was not devolved. So majorly we do the ECDs and the vocational training institutions. But still, because Machakos University is one of the biggest university in Machakos, we feel part of the process of the university, Machakos University. We are inviting you as the Minister of Education. We have a sitting, we look at MOU, we look at the way where we can collaborate with the county in terms of mostly my department, education. Professor is not here, Professor Agalo is not here, but I'll talk to her. She's a friend of mine, we see what we can do. We're already collaborating with the Daystar University. So Machakos being our biggest university and the public, I think you should have become #1 in our collaborations, but we are going to follow that. So I want to thank you very much for having invited us, for thinking about us. Just know that we are always here in this town. Anytime you need us, kindly, we'll be ready to come and be with you. Thank you so much.
Sorry, thank you very much. We have reached the end of this session. Asanteni sana, you can network tafadhali, tunaomba. Don't leave us with food. Like I had said, it is brunch. Breakfast imeshikana na lunch. Sasa karibuni kula. DJ, you can give the music and you can network. I'm waiting for people to network. Asanteni for coming. Karibu tena.